Hello. For young voters such as myself, what policies or plans do you have to convince us to vote for you?
Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
For young voters such as myself, what policies or plans do you have to convince us to vote for you?
Well, thank you for that question. Right away, I think in Newark, we've already established 16 and 17-year-olds to give them the opportunity to vote so they can begin to engage in voting right now in the civic process as it begins. We also want to make sure that education is affordable and that when people graduate from college, when they get a job, that housing is also affordable, that there's housing for you immediately, that if you want to raise a family, that you can afford to build a house or own a home in the state, that you also, the rent is also not killing you in the state as well, that we create pipelines so that kids can go right into the workforce immediately when they graduate from high school or graduate from college, that we work with our colleges and our institutions to prepare children for the workforce immediately. And so we need to put young people right into the workforce, make sure the state is affordable so they can own in the state of New Jersey, invest in their ideas, incubate their businesses, and at the same time get them engaged politically through civics by getting them to vote early on at 16 and 17. An 18-year-old, they should be automatically voting right away.
Mikey Sherrill.
Well, that's a great question because young people like you are the reason I'm running for governor. I have 4 teenagers right now, and the idea that we are not going to leave the world to them that I was able to grow up in, that they are not going to have the opportunities that I had, that somehow they aren't going to have the freedoms, that if they speak out against the government, they're going to be disappeared in the middle of the night. This is the stuff that keeps me up at night. And so that's why I'm fighting so hard against what we see coming from Washington. And I'm fighting to make sure New Jersey is a place you can live because honestly, I'm not sure what's going to go on in the other states as we see these constant attacks from the federal government. But if you're going to stay here, if you're going to live here in New Jersey, I'm going to fight to make sure you can afford a great education. We can stack credits so that if you get out of high school and you have to go to work right away, we can have certificate programs. We can make sure that you can go to community college and pay for it. Also driving down the cost of housing because right now too many young people can't afford to stay here. And finally, address our utility costs with clean power because our environment, the environment we are leaving to, the climate crisis has got to be faced right now because it gets worse every single day.
Steve Sweeney.
Well, we need to start winning a few fights in Washington at some point. I'll start with that. But listen, we have to make New Jersey affordable for you, so that you have a future here, that you can buy a house, that you can raise a family, that you can actually live here. Right now, you can't afford to buy a house. The largest growth, demographic growth in New Jersey are seniors right now, right? The smallest one are young people. They are moving out of the state because they can't afford to get their life started. So creating policies that will actually start to give kids a chance to say, hey, listen, I'm going to be able to buy a house. They're listening. They're doing something. We need to do something now to give confidence in young people.
Josh Gottheimer.
Thanks for that question. I have a 15-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old boy, and I think about this all the time of can they afford to be able to stay in Jersey? And I talk to people everywhere I go, and they say my kids, when they graduate, are leaving because rents are so expensive, up 33% in the last few years. One of the major papers in Jersey wrote recently that to get a middle-class house costs you need to make at least $161,000 a year. How can people coming right out of school afford that, whether they're going to a trade or going to community college, which I think we should help kids who can't afford pay for it? How are they going to be able to do that if we don't figure out a way to get costs down, to get taxes down, and to get rents down, which is why I'm giving young people a rental rebate so that you can afford to actually pay your rent and stay in Jersey. We invest so much in you. I got such a great gift to be able to grow up here and go to public school here and stay here. I want to make sure everybody gets that shot.
Steve Phillip.
Alexis, first I want to say thank you for that question, echo the sentiments there, and it is a key part of my campaign, and young people involved is a key part of the Democratic Party's potential for success come November. I'm proud to have the support of the College Democrats of New Jersey and the College Democrats of America, and it was a competitive process because I could articulate the vision of what New Jersey should be for those young people. Of course, housing is a key part of it. How do you make college affordable for these people and rethink higher education in New Jersey? talking about AI and artificial intelligence, how that will change the employment aspect for the state of New Jersey and the country, and what governor or gubernatorial candidate is thinking about how do we redefine some of that stuff, and we've done that. And then finally, I would just talk about the environment. We've been very aggressive on this in New Jersey. And what I hear most often in Jersey City, and what I hear most often is that young people are concerned about what the environment and sustainability and climate change will look like for them. And they want a governor that's unapologetic about climate change, not bridging the gap with fossil fuels and all of this wishy-washy talk that is very clear, saying that I understand that we want to leave the world and New Jersey a better place. And I think I stand alone on that, and we've articulated all that.